Alright, so I'm Fredesha Cunningham, and today I will be doing my presentation on initiatives and referendums. And an initiative is a proposal of new law construction amendment for citizens submitted to legislation for the people to vote. It gives citizens the power to directly make laws or change their state's constitution. Citizens propose a proposition, which they usually normally call a prop, and then they'll start a petition. If they get enough people to go through with the petition, then they'll initiate the appears on the ballot, and then people can vote on it. They're only used in some states. It allows citizens to have direct say in the lawmaking process, which I think is like very good, because I mean, who else is better to say the way laws should be or made than the people that have to abide by the laws? And the referendum allows the people to state their opinion about the laws enacted by legislation. So a referendum is the way that citizens vote themselves on acts that normally be decided by a legislative body. So they're often referred to as valid measures of opposition. So basically, the people vote directly instead of like going through an entire process. So they both are directed by a democracy of the 20th movement. This helps with the people participation on voting, how they think and may feel. Just based off upon what you think, what you feel about things, and I just feel like who better to say how they feel about stuff when it comes to lawmaking, because the people are the ones that have to abide by it. And how they are created. So the initiative was created by the people. Citizens draft the proposal, the petition to add it on the ballot, and then they vote on it. Meanwhile, referendums originated with the government. The legislature submits legislation to the people for approval. So they submit it, and then the people approves it for them. I think the next question on, and I'm going straight off of the rubric. So compare and contrast the initiative and the referendum. So basically, as I stated earlier, they both come from different perspectives, because one is the people vote and the other one is you put in the ballot and everyone votes together. Well, with the referendum, of course, they used to be where only legislation could vote, but now everyone gets to have an opinion. And then some of the pros and cons of each. So some pros of the referendums is straightforward way for citizens to make participation in decision making and providing them with a direct voice in shaping politics and laws. So they basically get to say what they think or what they feel. Like I stated earlier, and I think that is good. I mean, you should have some say in the law. Referendums have the potential to raise public awareness in important issues, sparking meaningful discussions and encouraging civil engagement. I think one of the main things that referendums would be like talking about in our world today would be guns. Guns is one of the main things that in this state, in South Carolina, that we so go back and forth with, only because the laws have changed so much, and it's so like frequently for everyone to get them and use them, and not knowing that there are pros and cons to it, and that you're not just supposed to use it, it's a way that you use it. So I think that would be one of the biggest conversations. And some cons of the referendums would be the direct avenue for citizen participation. So having people come in and actually vote on those things, and not just the legislation being the voters. Potential drawbacks of referendums, including issues related to polarization, misinformation, and the risk of overstimulating complex issues. So, just failure to capture certain things and failure to, talk about certain things, that would probably be like, one of the cons of referendum. And then some of the pros and cons of the initiatives would be they can overturn existing laws. So through a direct vote by citizen, initiatives allow for the potential reversal of current legislation, providing a way for electorate to have direct impact on governmental decisions. And with initiatives, I didn't really see too many pros and cons like broken down. With the referendums, I seen it like actually broken down into two. But I will say the takeaways would be empower citizens to shape policy directly, ensures public participation in lawmaking, enables significant impact on legislation, and may be influenced by special interests. And I think that's one of the pros and cons will be, because sometimes if you don't think that something is interesting, of course you're not going to be interested in like voting on it. Like one of the things that I'm really not interested in this year, and I know it is very important to vote, but voting for president, like I feel like at this time we really don't have anyone, in my opinion, that's good enough for, you know, the world. So I think that's like one of the cons of initiatives is, you know, having the power to vote and then not wanting to do it. Okay, and then explain the initiatives and recognize support the idea of direct democracy as it outlined in the Arizona Constitution. And I would just say that's just the same thing as I was stating earlier, you know, just having those direct, like being able to directly do things, but not taking the initiative to do it, or as in the Ramadan, you know, just being able to vote but don't vote, things of that nature. Like, it would be pointless to do these things if we don't do it. But as I stated earlier, not every state does this, and I don't think South Carolina do this. I'm not sure, but I don't think we do. But I think that everyone should have an opinion about voting and how it is viewed and looked at, and what do you get to vote on. You know, I think it's very important to add your people in on voting, because like I said, who's better to say what the laws should be or how the laws should be than the people who have to abide by the laws. And again, thank you. I'm Fredacia Cunningham. I hope that answered all of the questions correctly.